How you guys doing?
We're exhausted.
Long day at the office. Oh man, I'm telling you, unbelievable. Well, it was a battle out there today, and everybody's exhausted, but that's how it should be. And it's nice to leave here today with a victory. It was a grind. I thought the defense played beautifully throughout the entire day. Offensively, we ran the ball very well. And in the passing game, we never got any momentum built up in the passing game. We struggled at times, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we made some plays when it counted, and we walk out of here today with a victory, and we go to 5-2. So we're all excited about that.
Were you ready into regulation, 4th and 1? I mean, obviously you were ready. You ran the play.
Right.
Was there a thought in there that you guys might actually be going for this play right there?
Well, coming in, I got the call in my helmet, and it said storm, which usually means quarterback sneak. So I just got the guys on the ball, and we went for it. And I think we would have gotten it if they didn't blow the whistle, but they called timeout, and so we punted the ball away.
Surprised when you heard storm and not punt?
Well, you're so caught up in the moment at that point that you just kind of get on the line and you go. So I knew that it was 4th and 1, and we had to get that first down. So.
Do you believe there's kind of an art to icing a kicker? I mean, Coach Haley seemed to do it just perfect for them. And Shannon Daly's like running down the sideline and trying to fake things out. It just seems there's a whole gamesmanship. Have you noticed that there's a lot? I mean, it's your job to get in a position. But once there is there a gamesmanship going on with that?
I'm sure there is, and icing the kicker is part of the game, and, you see it week in and week out with a bunch of different teams, and that happens. And really, I think that's just the head coach's call and what he perceives as the best for the team at that point.
Did you sense from Buffalo, I mean, this was like a desperation game for them, and they never gave up. But this team rose to that kind of thing. Did you sense something about this team maybe you hadn't had the chance to experience yet this season?
Well, I think this is one of the craziest games I've been a part of, and one that we had to continuously overcome adversity, and also the emotional roller coaster that we went throughout the entire game. There was chances for them to win, there's chances for us to win, and at the end of the day, we're really happy to walk away with a victory. Our hats go off to Buffalo. I thought they played hard all game. We knew that they were a good team, an explosive team with a lot of great players, and they played us down to the wire.
I know you like to be aggressive, but when things are kind of coming unglued there in the 4th quarter, was there ever a point where you're just like, man, why didn't we just go for a field goal earlier? This wouldn't have been necessary. I know you have to go with it a lot of times, like we talked last week, but
right.
That ever kind of enter your mind today? Just could be going home.
Not really. Once a play goes, you just move on and you try to keep moving forward. And we knew that we were in 4-down territory. Coach told us, and so we prepared for that. And like I told you last week, it's our job as an offensive unit when that comes up that we have to get the first down.
So he told you that was 4-down territory at that time?
Earlier in the game, yes.
You mentioned how well you guys did on the ground. If you could just talk about what Jamal's been able to do. I mean, he was 180 yards, whatever, on the ground.
Right.
2 of your 3 longest passes, I think, were to him.
Right.
He's been, at least today, a huge game changer for you guys.
Well, he has been a huge game changer, and he continues to be a guy that makes big plays week in and week out, and the combination of him and Thomas have been great for this team so far, and hopefully as we move forward, these guys will continue to step up and play well for us. But Jamal, he's just an exceptional athlete and an exceptional player, and we're happy to have him on our team.
How impressed have you been with Tony Moiaki as a rookie? I mean, looks like kind of like a safety blanket guy, one of your go-to guys.
Right.
7 games into his NFL career.
Well, the thing that I've said about Tony before, and it continues to impress me, is his maturity level. And as a quarterback, when you can tell a guy something just one time and he gets it, that's reassuring, and it's something that is encouraging, because as you go out there on the field, you can trust that he's going to be in the right spot and doing the right things, and that's really what you look for, especially in your tight end.
How much easier has your job been this year with, I don't know what the sack numbers are, but it's less than last year. Halfway through last year, you've been sacked 30 times.
Right.
This year, it's one of the least sacked teams in the league. I'm sure that's part you're doing, but I mean,
right.
The offensive line's got to have made your job a lot less stressful if that was the right.
Absolutely. I think the offensive line has been playing great all year, and I think it also starts with the running game. You know, we continue to be able to put pressure on teams with the running game, and then that allows us to alleviate some of the pressure in the pass game because, well, you can grind some people out, maybe get them tired a little bit, but at the same time, you set up your play action and get into manageable third down situations.
Matt, you mentioned the passing game being kind of sporadic in regulation and then
Right.
into overtime. As the clock was ticking down in overtime, was
Right.
that ever a concern?
Well, you know, you always want to get the passing game going, especially as a quarterback, and you want to feel like you're in a rhythm. And, you know, throughout most of the day, you didn't see that. You know, we weren't able to get into a good rhythm in the passing game. But then on the other hand, we were running the ball so well that, you know, we took advantage of what they were giving us, and they have good secondary. I said that last week, that their secondary I felt was the strength of their defense, and their corners did a good job. There's some throws that, you know, I wish I had back, but at the same time, we made some big plays there at the end, and again, walking away with a victory. So it's good.
Were you preparing yourself for, I don't know if you talked to the team after the game, but were you preparing yourself for what is a tie speech? What's the feel? Because it looked like Cassel was going to be able to, you know what I mean? I don't know if
Right.
you're disappointed after a tie.
Right.
You probably never had a tie in your career.
No.
And so, I mean, was it late in overtime? Were you thinking, we might not get the ball back, and even if the defense stops them,
Right.
what happens?
Well, I knew that at the end of regulation it would be a tie if that was to come down to it, but I wasn't preparing any speeches or anything like that, you know. But I am really happy that we walked out of here with a W today.
Matt, as odd as it may sound against a team that's winless, do you look at this as a benchmark win?
Well, I think so. You know, this team has been playing good football throughout the course of the year, but at the same time, this was one of these games that really challenge you as a player and challenge you to overcome adversity, and it challenges you in many different ways. And I think our defense stepped up, our special teams stepped up, and our offense stepped up when we needed to.